Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to end the videos, another paid request, this time for Edward. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reviews, tier lists, re-reviews, commentaries, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And Edward has 2 more episodes of South Park for me to watch and review. Season 16, episodes 7 and 8. Episode 7, I had some fun with. In this episode, there's a new girl in school. She happens to be black. So Cartman out of the blue thinks that her and Token belong together. Because in his words, blacks belong together. But he finds out that she actually has a crush on Kyle. So he makes up a story that him and Kyle are lovers. And she's like, oh, okay. And of course, Kyle finds out about this, gets pissed off. But then it's like, hey, look how good they are together. You want to ruin that? So that makes Kyle even more pissed. And the way Cartman does this to get them together is like he locks the two of them in the boys' locker room. The new girl and Token. Some of his other stuff. And I guess this is the first appearance of the Cupid Cartman. Because I swear there was something that I reviewed. What? I'm trying to think. Was that after this? For some reason I have this feeling that I reviewed something that was much later that had this character in it. Or was it before? Now my mind's all twisted and turned. I'm sorry, I'm twisted and turning around, but I think this is the first time we see the Cupid Cartman, where there's this little nice Cupid figure that wants to find love, and I guess this is kind of a way to showcase Cartman's heart, so to speak, of his weird bit of careness. So nobody else sees this, but he sees, and he tosses this thing. Yeah, it was a future one. Because I remember when I reviewed, I said, what the fuck happened to the voices? That's why, it was a much later one. I forget which episode it was. So yeah, this might be the first one. Because that one, I'm like, wait a minute, Cartman's voice, like these guys' voices are so different. It was like a rude awakening. So yeah, it was someone that wanted me to review like a new episode. So I'm like, what the fuck? So okay. But yeah, it was interesting to see this development of Cartman with this Cupid thing. And it's kind of funny, other people's reaction, in particular Butters. Because there's a bit where Butters is comforting a sad Cartman. Because by this point, Token and the girl have broken up, saying, hey, you know what, maybe we should just try to see if we see other people and see if that could work out. So Cartman's sad, and Butters is comforting him, which I'm like, why the fuck do you comfort him, Butters? He's the one that treats you like shit, and at one point didn't leave you to freeze or die multiple times, hunted you down at the border. Like, literally, was a time you were king of Mexico, and he hunted you down and tried to murder you, but I guess that's Butters. He's willing to overlook anything. But when Cartman is beating up and destroying this Cupid version of himself, Butters is just watching and not knowing what the hell's going on. But I like that as well because I'm a sucker for the Butters character. Also, one other thing is when Cartman is trying to get people to think that him and Kyle are gay, he sings the song, I swear by the moons and the stars I'll be there. I'm like, oh my god, what a hell of a nostalgia trip, because I had not heard that song since way back in the day. And I don't know, sometimes weird stuff like that hits you, like, oh fuck, yeah, that song does exist. I haven't heard that in like a decade. So it ends up with Kyle pick up the girl. They go to a Denver Nuggets basketball game, and Cartman heads him off at the pass. Gets on one of the, what do you call it, on the video screen, and you think, okay, he's going to tell them that, hey, Tolkien really likes you, you guys should be together. Instead, he goes, well, actually, me and Kyle, please, Kyle, come back to me, which further pisses Kyle off more. Now, there's other stuff to mention. I did like the bit where after Tolkien, the girl had broken up, and really the reason they broke up was because Cartman kept putting these gifts that made it seem like one sent it to the other, and one of them was like a bear the girl got, and literally the bear said, we're black so we belong together, like something like that. So of course she took a bit of offense to that. But then she finds out at the end that Cartman's the one that sent it and not Tolkien. That's one of the reasons that leads her to going back to Tolkien. The other bit that I did laugh at was after the two of them split, Kyle is trying to like get Tolkien to understand of, so you two aren't, and that's a computer getting done editing something. So you two are not seeing each other, right? So it'd be cool if she saw someone else, right? Like, he's like dragging it along, but he's like being awkward because he doesn't know how to tell it. He doesn't want to get Tolkien mad, but he's still trying to press the issue. I don't know, something I don't see Kyle do a whole lot, and that made it a little bit funnier to me. So I didn't mind that moment. The Cupid Cartman thing, I'm not sure how I felt about it on that other episode. Maybe because again the voices are so different. But here, like with the voices I'm used to, their tone inflection may seem a bit funnier. I guess the point of the episode is, it shouldn't matter if people just assume we're supposed to be together. If we want to be together, okay. I mean, I don't really know what's brought this episode on. I don't know if some kind of thing they saw. Because usually, they make this support. They get inspired by something they see, and just a show to be made so fast, they have a quick turnaround. So I don't really know what the inspiration was for this, but I mean, it's one of those things I'm watching. I'm like, okay. I don't know if we ever see this girl again, but the actress who voiced the girl did a decent enough job. I mean, it's kind of weird in a way. Like, Cartman's doing it in such a wrong way, but he's like trying to do a good deed, but he's doing it in such a wrong way. And like I said, there's little moments like Butters trying to comfort Cartman, or Kyle trying to put the idea in Tolkien's head. So, can I see her since you guys are broken up? I didn't think it was too bad of an episode. Episode 8. Sadly, this one I could not get into. Pretty much Randy is watching football, and on the NFL circuit, talk about how a lot of people have concussions. So we cut to the Little League football player where his son and others are playing, Butters, Tarpon, others, and they've mentioned that there's no kickoffs because for more safety. And Randy starts being very sarcastic. It's like, what? And takes up with the man, the principal and others. So we're not going to have like kickoffs? And just being so sarcastic. It's like, hey, well, if we want to be so safe, why don't we just have have 10 full hats on the kids and have them play balloons and get some bras and they just hug each other instead of tackle? How do we do that? Are you being sarcastic? Oh yeah, sarcastic is good. In fact, let's call it sarcastiball. And none of these people understand sarcasm, so they go along with it. They go, okay. So then they do sarcastiball, and then it becomes popular. Just a lack of injuries, and becomes nationwide game, and is starting to replace the NFL. And then Randy becomes the coach of the Broncos, and he keeps being sarcastic, and then he can't stop being sarcastic. I will admit, number one, I'm not a fan of the Randy character. I know a lot of people are. I know the guys who make the show are huge fans of that character. I'm not. I find them really. Maybe it's like in a weird way, like because the kids are still kids, you kind of forgive certain things, but this adult is like his stupidity seems more annoying to me in this show. And the sarcasm got old. It was like a one joke for the entire episode. He's being very, 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 very sarcastic. Or two jokes. That's the one joke. And then the Butters subplot, which I really enjoy the Butters character. He's become my favorite character on the show. Pretty much it's him giving speeches, but he's giving speeches about to rouse niceness out of the classmates. Because people think he's the nicest kid, and he's like, "You got creamy, gooey feeling inside." And Cartman finds the supply that he has, and you find out that Butters has, at night, certain ejaculations that he saves up, because he doesn't quite know what it is, because his parents tell him bullshit lies. And none of the kids realize what they're drinking, so they're drinking some kind of seemingly gooey, nice energy drink, which you kind of find out they actually drink semen. So they're drinking butter semen. I actually would have been laughing if this was all a big ploy of Professor Chaos, his evil version, that he knew what it was all along, that he was as dumb as we think he is, and he's like, well, these guys have been treating me so much like shit, I actually made a way for you to drink my cum. Like, if you found out that was the plan, I actually kind of would have laughed and respected Butters, but no, he just didn't know what was going on. And so again, the Randy just being sarcastic and everybody buying into it 100% as genuine. Like I said, if you thought it was funny, that's cool, folks out there. It just got old for me real quick. So it's just like, okay, I get the joke, but just repeated the joke throughout the entire episode. And in fact, he's getting brain damage from being so sarcastic that he can't stop being sarcastic. I guess this is also a reference to, I don't watch much football, but I guess it's a time, something about the replacement refs. I guess the referees were on strike, and so they needed referees to replace them. But there was some football game where the replacement referees called what was titled later as the Fail Mary, where someone's trying to catch the ball, the other guy got the ball, like an interception, but then the other guy was still holding it. And like afterward, people said, no, that's clearly a touchback or interception, but you guys call it a touchdown, and that helped win that team the game. They said, like all the personalities, sports personalities, players said what the ref did, they made such the worst call. Even the president of the United States was mad about it. And then like 2 days later, the referee strike was over. Like, that's how much of a big deal it was. I mean, it was interesting to learn about that. I would not know that unless looked up info on the episode. And honestly, that was more interesting than the episode, to be fair. That learning about that was more interesting than the episode itself. So, didn't mind episode 7. Wasn't really big on episode 8. Again, Randy, not a fan of the character. Sarcasm ran really, really thin, really quick. And still with Butters, like I said, if it was, there's a ploy of, boom, turn 180s, Professor Chaos is all, I fooled you guys, you drink your bones. But no, even at the end, they're telling him stuff, and he's like, what's sarcasm and what's cum? Because he doesn't know. He believes what his dad tells him. He even gets an erection, and the dad tells him, oh, that's your friend compass sign. It's pointing up because your friend is Jesus. So, there you go. So yeah, episode 7, I got some chuckles out of. Episode 8, not so much. So, wasn't for me. But with that said, thanks once again, Edward. I really appreciate it, man. And it helps a lot. Thank you so much. So, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.